Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Road rage shooting. Right now, Sky 5 is above a shooting scene in Durham. What we're seeing there now after a driver was sent to the hospital.
And remember yesterday, boy, the temperatures were warm. None of that for today, but I'll show you why we'll be on a weather roller coaster for the next several days.
And copper wire thefts. 5 people are accused of stealing from their employer. The new arrests and how to prevent potential thieves from selling building materials.
Plus, remembering a leader. A funeral starts in 1 hour for former Governor Jim Hunt. The legacy he leaves for North Carolina. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Laura Levine filling in for Renee Chu today.
Yeah, I'm Chris Levengill. We're so happy that you're joining us this afternoon. We'll get to that breaking news story above Durham in just a second, but we do want to begin with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. She's tracking what the day is looking like today, and we have a live look at Pittsburgh this afternoon.
Yes, with lots of cloud cover. And this is what we're seeing for pretty much the entire viewing area. Today, much, much cooler than yesterday. That is because a cold front has slipped southward, allowing all that chilly air to move in from the north. It's chilly in South Hill at 41, 45 in Rocky Mount, 45 in Roxborough. We're still holding on to 50s down south. That cooler air is filtering in, but we're still holding with those low 50s. We may keep it in the low 50s there in our southern towns all through the day. But in the Triangle, temperatures will only linger into the upper 40s and then drop into the mid 40s overnight. So not a big drop overnight. And tomorrow we'll see that front lifting northward. That's going to warm things up nicely for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Our next weather maker comes on Monday. I'll show you our chance for rain and wind.
All right, thank you for that, Elizabeth. We'll come back to you. We do want to get over to that breaking news that we have been following right now. This is a live look right now above Durham after one person is in the hospital after a road rage shooting. We have confirmed in the past 5 minutes that this is the case. This is on I-885 near the interchanges with US 70. We have seen investigators looking into that black van that you see right there on your screen. The car has a shattered back window. The shooting happened around 11 o'clock this morning, and the victim says that it happened as a result of road rage. We're trying to get more information from police, but in the meantime, we're going to keep trying to get more details and specifics, possibly any witnesses, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we learn more.
New at noon now, a Wendell man is the latest to be arrested stemming from the theft of copper wiring at a North Carolina demolition company. Warrants charge several people with stealing the materials from their own employer. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live on Garner Road in Raleigh. Flynn, the suspects are accused of stealing more than 1,000 pounds of copper.
Yeah, and Laura, they're accused of bringing all that copper here to Fost Recycling, where police say they were able to exchange it for cash. 4 people from Wake County face charges connected to this. Quavon Gilmore was arrested just yesterday. Elijah Miller, Michael Moore, and Willie Jacobs also face charges. In total, warrants say over 1,000 pounds of copper was stolen from their employer, Four Seasons Demolition Services. It was then sold here at Fost Recycling for more than $1,200. Warrants say that the copper was stolen on 2 dates, on August 29th and again on September 2nd. A motive here is unclear, but our recent reporting has revealed that the price and the rising price of copper has made it a target for thieves. According to court records, all suspects have been granted bond, with at least 2 expected back in court in the next coming weeks. Flint Sider, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
In less than 1 hour, friends and family members of former North Carolina Governor Jim Hunt will gather to remember him at his funeral. And that funeral will be at First Presbyterian Church of Wilson this afternoon. He served as governor of North Carolina from 1977 to 85 and then 93 to 01. Some of his achievements include his focus on programs for public schools, and he also played a key role in expanding Research Triangle Park. A book of condolences is available for people to sign at the state capitol through next Friday.
Well, we are in the peak of the holiday travel season, and it's a busy day at RDU, where you're taking a live look at right now. So far, there have been 22 cancellations at RDU, and nationwide, there are more than 1,700 flights delayed. We'll be sure to keep an eye on those numbers as parts of the U.S. deals with severe weather during this busy travel season.
And Laura, even more travelers will be headed home today in their cars during holiday travel. What you're seeing right here is a live look at I-40 at Carytown Boulevard. WRAL's Ali Kalabar caught up with people as they fueled up in the Triangle before headed back home.
Get it it has been pretty quiet here at the Sheets near RDU, but we do know from AAA that it's expected to pick up throughout the day. AAA says that the busiest time to be on the road is between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Now, we checked in with some travelers at the Sheets by RDU. They're driving to New York. We asked if they were concerned about the holiday travel rush.
The busiest travel day of the holiday season is kind of today. Yeah. So is that concerning for you?
A little bit, but not really. I mean, there's 4 of us going, so we can always switch out if we need to. Traffic gets really bad.
Now, AAA says that they are expecting to see 3.3 million North Carolinians on the road during this holiday travel period. Today, again, expected to be the busiest of that day. They are saying it's expected to be crowded, so stay safe. Reporting in Morrisville, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Now, as for gas prices, AAA shows the average cost of a gallon of gas is $2.76 in Raleigh, $2.78 in Wilmington, and $2.71 in Asheville. WRAL is keeping track of the flights, the disruptions, traffic, and weather conditions, and you can do that too using the WRAL News app. It's free to download.
Well, crews in Durham face challenges while tackling a large vacant house fire on South Austin Avenue. The division chief says they struggled to find working fire hydrants nearby. They eventually found one they could pull water from and contain the fire. Fortunately, no one was hurt. We're working to find out the cause of this fire.
A person is seriously hurt after a shooting in Wake County. This happened around 7 last night on Simpkins Road near Raleigh. What you're seeing is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker of law enforcement at that scene. Wake County deputies found a man who was shot, but there's no word yet on if there is a suspect in this case.
We are trying to learn new information about a crash in Nash County that killed a driver. The crash happened around 9:30 last night on Highway 264 East in Middlesex. That's near the Bailey exit. Highway Patrol says the driver lost control and hit a median. The car crashed into trees and caught fire. Troopers are still trying to identify the victim.
And we're learning new information about what led up to the Cary town manager being asked to resign. In a blog post, Cary Mayor Harold Weinbrecht says the now former town manager went around council to make a large land purchase. Sean Stiegel had the authority to spend up to $1 million before needing to go before the town council. The mayor says Stiegel bought property that exceeded that value. However, he says the town manager split it into 2 purchases to avoid crossing the $1 million threshold. Weinbrecht also says that he began reviewing Stiegel after learning the town spent more than $25,000 on a council member's tuition. But to be clear, Councilwoman Lori Bush repaid that money. Stiegel resigned earlier this month after getting put on leave, and the state auditor's office is now reviewing this.
There's no place like home for the holidays, but interest rates and affordability issues make home feel like a burden for some. As Doug Luzida reports from Washington, housing is shaping up to be a major issue in 2026.
1, 2, 3.
Huge real estate deals may be second nature to Donald Trump, but it's the smaller ones that most of us make that are keeping the White House economic team up at night.
We've got a list of things that we're going to present to the president.
The president's chief economist teasing what he says will happen in coming days as the administration mulls over what to do about home affordability.
I expect that most of us are going to be down for a big chunk of the week after Christmas at Mar-a-Lago, going through all the plans for next year. And definitely we have a big list of housing ideas that have been vetted very carefully by the cabinet secretaries to present to the president in a week or two. And we'll see which ones he picks.
Some ideas already floated include a 50-year mortgage. That would reduce monthly payments, but it could also effectively lead to a lifetime of mortgage debt with massive interest costs. Another idea, portable mortgages. If you already own a home and don't want to move because you locked into a super low rate a few years ago and don't want to lose it, portability could allow you to carry that existing loan to a new house.
Some people who are empty nesters are living in a 6-bedroom house. They don't need that much space, so it's going to open up that inventory for a growing family.
But that could also trigger a demand spike, causing home prices to go up even faster.
Our thanks to Doug Luzida for that report.
All right, we are looking at stocks this afternoon right now. Let's look at how the Dow is doing so far. Looks like it's down 85 points off screen. The S&P 500 down 5 points. Not too bad there. NASDAQ down 7 points as well. Looks like right now the S&P 500, though, hit a record high as Wall Street is headed for a winning week in total, though. We'll be looking to see how things are progressing as the week begins next week.
A Walmart in Wilson has reopened today after a shooting on Christmas Eve. The shooting happened Wednesday morning after a fight broke out inside the store's barbershop. Police say 3 people were involved. Bystanders got involved to help disarm one of them. There were no injuries. 19-year-old Ashton Pittman and 30-year-old Jordan Battle are facing attempted murder charges. They are both being held without bond. They are due in court on Monday.
Police say the man who a car hit and killed in Raleigh yesterday was Daniel Zacharias. Police say that he died at the hospital, and officers say that a driver hit him at the intersection of Tryon Road and Dillard Drive. They also say Zacharias was running in the middle of the road while wearing dark clothing. But there aren't any streetlights in that area. That's important to note. Police have not filed charges at last check. Next at noon, post-holiday thieves. The signs that you're giving online and in person that could make your house a target.
And more warm Christmases. Why scientists say the warm weather we saw yesterday will become more common.
And state of emergency. A closer look at the severe flooding and the destruction over in California.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000. Sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
You may want to think twice before you throw away that box that has your favorite Christmas present and what it came in, or post about it online. Law enforcement says showing off any shiny new toys may make you a target for post-holiday theft. WRAL's Elizabeth Holmes has tips for how to keep you and your family safe.
If you're lucky, your holiday mail made it just in time for Christmas. But how you toss out those shipping boxes, labels, and wrapping paper may make you a target for thieves. Sergeant Wallace O'Neill with the Wake County Sheriff's Office says robbers can scout out who has designer items or nice electronics by looking in the trash.
When you discard your package, take the label off it. It gives all the type of identifying information on it, your name, address. If you got your possible phone number on it, take all that off. Discard it somewhere else other than with the box.
AAA says more than 100 million Americans will be traveling by car between now and New Year's. If you're not careful carrying your gifts, your back seat can be a gold mine for thieves.
Don't leave any packages anywhere that's visible in the car. Don't leave a package in your passenger seat where people can walk by it and easily see in it. If you're going to leave it in your car, leave it in like your trunk where it's secure and nobody can see what's in the trunk.
If you're taking to the skies, sharing your itinerary online could show thieves that you're not home.
Some people like to post everything they do with social media. Don't post that, hey, I'm going to be out of town for the weekend, or I'll see y'all in a week. Don't post any of that. You're just setting yourself up to be an easy target.
Sergeant O'Neill says getting a camera for your home may be the best Christmas gift to stop someone from stealing.
A lot of people have video cameras at the house, like Ring and Arlo. So sometimes we can get pictures that way. So sometimes it can be a little tricky to track everybody down.
Elizabeth Holmes, WRAL News.
And if you have gifts to return, remember, not every store has the same policy. Your return window could be closing soon. At Walmart, most items purchased between October 1st and December 31st can be returned until January 31st. There are some exceptions, though, for electronics and third-party sellers. Then you got Amazon, right? Most items bought between November 1st and December 31st can be returned until the end of January. But then you got items such as Apple products, perishables, or even customized goods. They have shorter return windows, and some can't even be returned. Then you have Macy's. It allows returns on most items bought between November 1st and December 31st. Those can be returned until the end of January. You can go to WRAL.com for more on store policies.
Well, millions of people in California are under a state of emergency as a powerful storm carrying a strong atmospheric river is slamming the state. This was the scene yesterday in a town of Palmdale that's not far from Los Angeles, about an hour away. Several communities are under an evacuation order because of the risk of life-threatening flooding. In areas where the floodwaters have receded, people are finding buried cars, toppled buildings, and blocked roads.
Everything was flooded. It was insane. Like, cars had to stop in the middle because of how flooded it was. And well, yeah, it was just really crazy and hectic.
The National Weather Service is warning of more flooding and strong winds in northern and southern California. In the next 15 minutes, how this same system brought Christmas devastation to some families in Washington state.
Christmas had temperatures that climbed well above normal here locally. Scientists we spoke to say that holiday warmth like this, it's becoming more common. In the Triangle, the warming is even more pronounced. Temperature records show winter averages have increased about 5.6 degrees since 1970. And the Triangle also now sees about 17 more winter days above normal. Scientists say cold snaps will still happen, but warmer winters mean fewer deep freezes and effects far beyond what we wear.
This means our coldest days aren't as cold, and those deep winter freezes don't last as long.
I wish that weren't the case because you know what that means, global warming, but trying to enjoy it while we're here.
Scientists also say the trend is pointing toward fewer cold days and more warm ones. That means more holidays that look like March instead of December.
Well, here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, we may have had a warm Christmas, Elizabeth, but today a totally different story. I'm already feeling the temperatures drop right now.
Yeah, we're only going to see temperatures in the 40s and 50s compared to 72 for the high yesterday. So feeling colder for today. And then here comes the weather roller coaster. We're warmer again for tomorrow. I'll explain why we're seeing that. The next weather maker comes on Monday. It'll be breezy and we'll have a chance of some light patchy rain. So definitely an active pattern for us. We take a look outside. Lots of cloud cover. We're seeing that pretty much on all of our cameras right now. So gray skies with us for today and tonight. But tomorrow we see the sunshine returning along with some warmer temperatures. Right now it's 47 in Durham and Raleigh, and we've been seeing temperatures in the mid 40s really for the last 3 or 4 or 5 hours. South Hills at 41. We're still sitting in the low 50s for Southern Pines, Fayetteville, and Clinton. And we saw that since early this morning. We do have a northeasterly flow, and that's helping to keep our temperatures much cooler than yesterday. So you'll feel it if you're hoping to get outside. Yesterday was so nice for being outside, taking a stroll after all the Christmas festivities. This afternoon, temperatures in the Triangle will be in the mid to upper 40s, and then later on this evening in the mid 40s. But we won't really drop any more than that, so temperatures do remain well above freezing. This is called the wedge. This is where we end up with a northeasterly breeze that hits the mountains, and that cool air is dense and heavy, and it backs up against the mountains and gets stuck there. It gets wedged in. Sometimes we see a little drizzle, but we really haven't seen much of that for today. It does keep our temperatures cool, and we will stay in the 40s for the most part. Here's a look at the wind pattern. Again, coming right out of the northeast and across North Carolina, it bumps up into the mountains, and most of that cool air then gets stuck across our area. And so that's what we're seeing for today. But it does break down tomorrow. We should end up seeing some warmer temperatures moving on in. Our next round of cold comes in after Monday. This cold front comes through, and behind it, we're going to see windy conditions, and look at the blue shaded contours. That's where temperatures will drop well below normal. So we'll feel that Tuesday through most of next week. We do stay mild on Monday because the cold front won't come through until the evening. Our normal high is 53, so we're well above that tomorrow at 68, and then 60 Sunday, 65 Monday, and then Tuesday's high only 45, so it'll feel similar to what we're seeing right now, except it will be windy. So we could have a wind chill issue for Tuesday morning. Our forecast is for 30 degrees, but it could feel more like 20 on Tuesday morning with the wind chill. Our normal low is 33, and we're going to keep it below freezing Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning. The winds that we'll see on Monday likely to be gusting around 30 to 35 miles per hour, and again in the morning on Tuesday, it could be rather chilly. Our New Year's forecast is also cool on New Year's Eve, 51 degrees, New Year's Day, 52. We'll see those overnight lows, of course, down into the 20s, but I'm expecting that as the ball drops, the temperatures should be in the mid to upper 30s. Of course, watching that chance of rain on Monday. Coming up, we'll talk about how much we could see.
Elizabeth, thank you. Catching a scammer. Thieves are doing the most during the holidays, and you might get scam messages about deliveries, bank accounts, and more. Today on WRAL News at 4, how to know if that message is real and what to do if you receive one.
Plus, healing after Helene. There's a new initiative to help people in Western North Carolina after that devastating storm, which is why tonight at 5, the effect leaders hope that it has for years to come. Gold value up. Precious metals were one of the best performing investments this year. That and other business headlines in just a bit.
Plus, scam warnings. The Better Business Bureau says you need to watch for potential red flags. How AI is making scams even more difficult to spot.
Five on your side has your consumer news this afternoon. Gold prices jumped up this year in a failed bid to buy JCPenney stores. Karen Kafa has more from the NASDAQ market site in New York.
Gold is having its best year in well over 4 decades. Futures traded in New York have soared almost 71% this year, on pace for the precious metal's best annual gain in 46 years. To put that in perspective, Jimmy Carter was president the last time gold performed this well, back in 1979. Market experts cite turbulent global tariffs, the Russia-Ukraine war, and tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela as factors in gold's strong gains this year. It's also considered a safer investment, even if inflation surges or if currencies drop in value. A deal to sell dozens of JCPenney stores appears to have fallen through. Private equity firm Onyx was set to purchase 119 JCPenney stores for $947 million following the retail chain's bankruptcy. The trust representing JCPenney told Onyx that if the deal didn't close by today, it would be terminated. It had been set to close in September, but was delayed several times. Axios was among the first of several news outlets to report the development, citing a regulatory filing this week. It wasn't clear what factors caused the delays, and the JCPenney trust hasn't yet responded to media requests for comment. And James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash has topped $450 million globally and looks to dominate the Christmas holiday weekend box office. Disney's animated sequel, Zootopia 2, is also expected to remain a force on the big screen. So far, it's earned nearly $1.3 billion worldwide since its debut, according to Deadline. That makes it the second animated film ever to pass the $1 billion mark. The first was last year's Inside Out 2 Disney sequel. Rounding out the top 3 picks for holiday ticket sales, Universal's Wicked for Good. And those are your business headlines. I'm Karen Kiff at the NASDAQ market site in New York.
Well, scammers are looking for you to slip up as the year comes to a close. The Better Business Bureau is warning of potential scams that you should watch for. Travel scams are on the rise. The BBB says some people are impersonating online airline ticket brokers, then calling back asking for more personal details, including bank information. There has also been an uptick in scams where you'll receive a package you didn't order with no return address. These are designed to trick you into scanning a QR code that could put malware on your phone. AI has also made many fake sites look very real.
And that is what those scammers are banking on, is that you're going to move so fast that you don't look twice at some of these key details that we need to be watching for to make sure that we're not falling for a scam.
Recent surveys found nearly 9 out of 10 adults in the U.S. have experienced some type of scam. The BBB says it's important that you shop at reputable sites and watch for potential red flags.
U.S. airstrikes in Nigeria, what the Trump administration is confirming, and why our military became involved.
Plus, Pacific flooding, an apartment building divided as downstairs neighbors were unable to celebrate Christmas. The water damage that we're seeing across the West Coast.
And we do have a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers.
Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
That breaking news takes us to Durham right now. Police say one person was injured in a road rage shooting on I-85 near US 70. WRAL's Willie Daniely was on the scene. There he is. He joins us live. And Willie, you have moved off the highway because it was not safe once police left. What can you tell us now at that scene?
Well, Laura, according to Durham police, this happened around 11 o'clock right behind me on I-885 in Durham. I want to take you to some video that Sky 5 captured from above here at the scene. And you can see that black SUV pulled onto the shoulder of the highway. According to Durham police, when they responded here, they found a victim with a gunshot wound. That driver did sustain that gunshot wound on the highway, and police do believe that this is a road rage shooting. The victim was taken to the hospital with injuries that are not considered to be life-threatening at this time. This investigation is still ongoing. We have reached out to Durham police to see if they have any information about any potential suspect or any more information about how this shooting unfolded. We are going to continue to stay on top of this story. Willie Daniely, WRAL News, Durham.
The U.S. carried out airstrikes in Africa. President Donald Trump says he ordered the attacks against people accused of being part of ISIS. Now, these are people also accused of killing Christians in the country. The president says the strikes were deadly, but didn't elaborate on the number of people killed. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. had the Nigerian government's support to do this. Meanwhile, a U.S. Navy cargo ship was seen docking in Puerto Rico, and that happened as the U.S. continues to build a massive military force in the Caribbean. That includes an aircraft carrier, fighter jets, and other warships. Recently, the United States carried out more than 24 strikes on vessels in the Pacific and the Caribbean. All of this has been part of growing pressure from Washington on Venezuela's president.
Well, when it comes to holiday road travel, AAA says today will be one of the busiest travel days of the holidays as people return from their Christmas trips. So we're keeping an eye on the conditions this afternoon. Let's take a live look here at the roads, I-40 at Airport Boulevard. Right now, we are seeing traffic pick up just a little bit, but no major backups or delays. The AAA says the worst times to travel home today are between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. They also want you to double that check your car and make sure that it's ready for your trip by checking tires, air filters, and the battery before hitting the road. Well, if you are hitting the road, Santa's gift for you this year is cheaper gas. AAA says the national average is below $3 a gallon. In Raleigh, you'll pay $2.76. In Greensboro, gas is slightly cheaper at $2.73. And over in Charlotte, you'll pay only $2.60.
We're keeping an eye on your holiday air travel over at RDU, where we're looking live right now. We're seeing let's actually update this, right? The delays in the cancellation situation, 47 delays and 23 cancellations. Nationwide, there are more than 1,100 flights delayed, and that number could go up today and through the weekend because of winter weather in the Northeast. Plus, there's that intense rainfall and flooding out west. You can count on WRAL to help you navigate holiday travel this week and into the new year. Track those disruptions to flights, traffic, and weather conditions on the WRAL app, which is free to download.
A levee failure has created a split at an apartment complex in Washington. Families opened presents upstairs while the units below faced total loss. Christian Boulders reports flooding on the West Coast ruined Christmas for many.
At Megan's Court Apartments, the contrast is stark. On the top floor, people are celebrating Christmas.
We woke up and opened some presents from Mom and Santa Claus.
But on the bottom floor, no one's home. Last week, the White River, located just feet away, flooded the complex, destroying everything.
It's very sad. Actually, just below us on the corner, my friend Carrie lives on the bottom floor, and she lost all of her stuff.
A gingerbread house remains on that neighbor's windowsill. At this point, residents have salvaged what they could and tossed what they couldn't. The apartments have told a lot of these people, all living on the bottom floor, that their unit is going to be gutted and that it could be fixed in as early as a month, though a lot of people are skeptical of that.
I just screamed and woke everyone up.
We spoke with Carrie Weiss, who lives in one of those flooded bottom floor units. She's lived here for 6 years.
You were ready for Christmas. I was.
The moment my photographer and I walked in, the air was so damp our camera lens fogged up.
It smells like a swamp, and it's very soupy and moist and gross. And it smells.
Her apartment was filled with feet of water. Everything in here has to go.
This still has water in it.
In the other bottom floor apartments, it's the same situation. Soaked carpets, mildew, and mold.
The bathroom got ruined.
When we asked Carrie about help,
I don't know, I haven't found it yet.
her insurance won't cover the damage. This apartment complex is in a flood zone. Now the message from many residents, both on the top and bottom floors, is clear.
Yeah, I plan to never live near a river ever again.
They're not re-signing their lease.
In Clayton, a fire burned up a family's garage, and that fire started around 5:30 yesterday morning on Satinwood Drive. Everyone at that home is okay, and we did speak with the family that lives there. They say things escalated quickly.
I opened the garage door and just smoke, thick smoke coming out, and you'd hear water pouring. I couldn't even see the fire through all the smoke.
He told us the fire department was on scene within minutes, and the family says they're very fortunate they could celebrate Christmas at home. Charges filed. The man accused of shooting a Franklin County deputy was moved to custody in Raleigh. The new charges he's facing, including attempted murder.
Plus, plane crash updates. Another person has died after that UPS carrier fell out of the sky in Louisville. The latest information from federal investigators.
Make sure you download the new WRAL weather app and plan ahead for severe weather whenever it approaches. Turn on those alerts, though, to get notified about severe weather in your location. It's free to download.
Breaking news at noon here. 2 police officers are in critical condition after they were shot in a North Carolina town this morning during a child custody exchange. This happened around 10:45 a.m. in Mint Hill. That's a Charlotte suburb. Now, Mint Hill police say during the interaction at a shopping center, a man pulled out a gun. They say there was an exchange of gunfire and the officers were both hit. The suspect was shot and killed. This is a developing situation, and we're working to get updates on the conditions of the officers, the identity of the suspect, and the latest in this investigation. Of course, we're going to keep you updated.
And new this hour, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he plans to meet with President Donald Trump in Florida on Sunday. Right now, Washington is trying to broker a peace deal in Russia's war with Ukraine. Recently, the U.S. and Ukraine produced a plan to end the war, and that has been sent to Russian leadership for feedback. The plan would freeze the front line and then remove a requirement for Ukraine to renounce its bid to join NATO. Russian officials declined, though, to comment on the specifics of that latest plan.
Another victim of last month's UPS plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky, has died. That brings the number of people killed in that crash to 15. Louisville's mayor announced the death of Elaine Rodriguez Kalina on social media yesterday. The plane crashed shortly after taking off from Louisville Airport last month. The 3 pilots aboard and 12 people on the ground were killed. A preliminary report from the NTSB said critical hardware that kept the left engine attached to the plane had failed.
A man accused of shooting a Franklin County deputy has now been formally charged. Jermaine Branch was moved to Central State Prison in Raleigh, and he is facing charges for attempted murder, assault on a government official, and possession of a stolen firearm. Investigators say Branch shot a deputy last week, and Sheriff Kevin White says if his deputy were not wearing a bulletproof vest, he likely would have died. The deputy was treated and released from the hospital, and Branch was also hurt in that shooting.
We've got 2 big NFL games happening this Sunday on Fox 50. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to Miami. Panthers fans will be rooting for the Dolphins to improve Carolina's chances to make the playoffs. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. And then the Buffalo Bills will host the Philadelphia Eagles. Kickoff in Buffalo is at 4:25. After that, turn over to WRAL for Sunday Night Football. The Chicago Bears are taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Kickoff for that game is set for 8:20.
Camera shy science. Why doctors say many of us do not like being in photos.
And there is so much to do with the family this weekend. After the break, some out and about holiday activities after Christmas has come to an end. Welcome back. Now that Christmas is over, many families are starting to share the photos that they took together. Well, if you cringe after seeing any pictures of yourself, you're not alone. Dr. Susan Elbers is a psychologist at Cleveland Clinic. She says if you tend to get uncomfortable taking photos or are critical of yourself, there are ways to retrain your brain, that is. And one way is to take more photos, not less. This creates familiarity and can reduce anxiety.
Our self-image and negative bias may change over time. This is why when people look back at their photos, they're often surprised and say, I look really good. And it shows that there is a gap between our perception of how we feel and how we look.
And she says social media can influence our perception as well. That's why it's so important not to compare. And remember, what you see online isn't always real.
A local man says that he found very important undelivered mail on the side of the road. I want to show you this video of Colin Perigay with the packages as he tries to stop a FedEx driver as they pass by. Now, this happened on Christmas Eve over in Cumberland County, and he says most of that mail was medicine. That's why he contacted FedEx, but was told the packages could not be picked up until today at the earliest. But he just knew these packages needed to be delivered. So he spent all night contacting numbers on the labels, and when people arrived to pick up their packages, they called it a Christmas miracle.
We were on vacation Saturday, and I wouldn't have been able to get it shipped, and then I don't even know what I'd have to do if I had to go 2 weeks without my medicine.
I felt like I needed to take control and try to basically get these packages delivered.
Paraguay says that only 2 packages have not been delivered just yet, but he hopes to get them to their destination soon. We have reached out to FedEx to learn more about their protocol for when packages fall off trucks. We're just waiting to hear back.
Well, Christmas may now be behind us, but there are still plenty of holiday activities around our area through the new year happening.
So let's talk about the events you can attend over and out and about. So Apex is glowing for the holidays with its annual Holiday Tour of Lights that runs nightly through December 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. Then you have that self-guided tour that includes festive displays at homes and businesses across town and includes mapped routes to make sure that you're getting the most of your drive after dark.
And a live look at Fenton and Cary right now. You can see Skate the Square is in full swing. The festive pop-up rink welcomes skaters of all ages every day. There are both general admission tickets and season passes available for purchase, and special discounts are available on certain days. The skating season lasts until February 8th.
And then you got that magical run at the Durham Performing Arts Center getting started on Sunday as the production of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child will be at the DPAC. The show will run all the way through January 11th if you want to go, and tickets are available online. And for more weekend best bets, go to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
We are here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, and Elizabeth, people are out and about right now here at Fenton, bundled up though.
They are, yeah. It's so much colder than it was yesterday,
Yeah.
but it feels like skating weather, and it didn't yesterday. Temperatures climbed up into the low 70s. They had a bunch of people out skating just a few minutes ago, and I think they ended that session. There's a guy with a shovel. Oh, here comes the Zamboni. That's why. So, yep. We've got so many hockey fans now in our area. Like 40 years ago, nobody around here would have known what a Zamboni is. But there it goes. It's going to get out there and get that ice looking good. 47 is our temperature in the Triangle. We've had a little bit of a breeze all day. Our wind is east-southeast at around 9 miles per hour. That easterly, northeasterly wind that helped to keep things cooler for us and push some cold air in. So temperatures will be in the upper 40s for the most part, all the way up until sunset. But even after sunset, we don't drop a whole lot. Our overnight lows will be right around mid-40s. It's 48 in Holly Springs, 53 in Fayetteville, 47 in Cary, 47 Garner, 45 in Rocky Mount. So we're fairly uniform if you're looking to get outside. I know today tends to be a busy day. People are out exchanging gifts, or, the kids are just wanting to get outside. And if you're heading out to throw the football, those new Christmas sweaters will feel pretty good out there. The warmth comes right back at us on Saturday. If you happen to watch just about 30 minutes ago, I was talking about the wedge that sets up. So we have that northeasterly flow that set up overnight last night that kept us is keeping us nice and cool today. Well, the front will lift northward tomorrow, and the warm air will surge up underneath it and warm us back up tomorrow to 68 and then 60 on Sunday. It won't be quite as warm on Sunday as Saturday because we'll end up with more cloud cover ahead of our next big weather maker. Let's talk about that one. So we're going to see the winds picking up ahead of this. Our winds will come out of the southwest, so it'll be really warm on Monday. Winds will be gusting on Monday, 25 to 30, 35 miles per hour. And behind this front, our temperatures are going to drop dramatically. We won't see a whole lot of rain with this. It's going to be about a 40% chance, and the totals I'll show you in a few minutes are not terribly impressive. This is the same system that's causing a lot of problems out in California right now. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of flooding, a lot of heavy snow in the Sierra. Here's what happens once it gets to us. At 10 o'clock, we're dry. By the time we get to lunchtime, mid-afternoon, we see the rain rolling through. Earlier, it was a little slower. It looked like it might rain during the evening commute. This run of Futurecast has it moving through a lot faster, and we're clear by the evening commute. So we'll keep watching that timeline. That's not until Monday. We do know behind this front, temperatures will turn colder fast, and it stays windy. So wind chill from Monday night Monday night into Tuesday morning could be in the upper teens to low 20s. So that is going to not feel very pleasant, and it's going to stay that way into early next week, middle of next week as well. Only about a tenth or less of an inch of rain with this, so it's not going to be a big rainmaker for us on Monday, and a good chunk of North Carolina is under moderate drought, so we definitely could use the rain. Looking forward to Wednesday night for the big ball drop, our temperatures should be in the mid to upper 30s around midnight. We're going to see some cool but dry conditions as we get right toward the holiday.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Messy breakup. One of the biggest questions, who takes the dog or cat? The new law in Mexico City clearing up pet custody disputes. Up next. As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines we're following today.
Yes, as right now, one thing that we're following is breaking news in Durham. One person is in the hospital after what police are calling a road rage shooting. What you're seeing here is the scene when Sky 5 was above it on I-885 near the interchange with US 70. Police say one person was hurt and they are expected to be okay, but no one has been arrested just yet.
AAA says today will be one of the busiest travel days of the holidays as people return from their Christmas trips. The travel agency says the busiest period will be from now until 8 p.m. You can take a look at how traffic is looking before getting in the car on our website. Type traffic in the search box for a live look at several busy interstates.
Family and friends of former North Carolina Governor Jim Hunt are gathering together for his funeral. It's being held at First Presbyterian Church of Wilson. That service gets underway in just 6 minutes. Hunt served as governor of North Carolina from 1977 to 85 and 93 to 01. Some of his achievements include his focus on schools, programs, and a book of condolences is available for people to sign at the state capitol through next Friday.
Today marks the first day of Kwanzaa. The week-long celebration began in 1966 as a way for African Americans to reconnect with ancestral roots. It's celebrated every year from December 26th to January 1st. Now, each day is dedicated to one of 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith.
Lawmakers in Mexico have passed a law to resolve who gets the dog in a breakup. In Mexico City, pets are no longer considered property in the case of a breakup. Now, dogs and cats are considered family members, allowing judges to grant custody when couples separate. In many separations, dogs and cats become bargaining tools or used to cause emotional damage. Lawmakers hope the policy helps protect animals and maintain special bonds with the owners.
Well, it's time now for a look at our pet of the day. This is Sugar Cookie. She is a 6-month-old kitten who loves to play. Sugar Cookie is adventurous and full of zoomies. She also has unique medical needs and needs a family who can help take care of her. For more information about adopting Sugar Cookie, you can visit sbcawake.org.
Raising awareness to prevent future deaths. Coming up at 4 o'clock, how one mom is using her son's overdose deaths to keep other children safe while giving them a positive outlet.
NBC News Daily is next on WRAL, and your local newscast is coming up here in 30 minutes, your next local news update.
And of course, you'll get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. And don't forget to download the new and improved WRAL Weather app. Turn those push notifications on. You can track the same type of weather system that our meteorologists do right here in our studio. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Have a blessed day.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.